Welcome back to Booze, Bros, and Cars, your favorite podcast about booze and cars. And we're your hosts. I'm Eric.
Mike.
And I'm Nick.
All right. So, of course, we're always going to be starting off, while doing the virtual podcast, we're always going to start off with what we're going to be drinking here today. So, I have a really big-ass bottle of mead. It's the Dansk Majad. I'm probably butchering that. But Mead. Yes, thank you. But this is their, let me see. It's a honey apple wine with hops added to it. It's 19% ABV. Obviously, it's a product of Denmark. It's like a Viking-ish style.
Is that from the
beverage.
same folks that make Vikings Blood?
Yes.
I believe so. Yeah.
Pretty
sure.
Looks like it, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's the same company.
Yeah, really good stuff. I have actually been kind of taking a couple sips here and there of it. It is phenomenal. I'll give my input on it a little bit later, but
it'll light you up too.
Yeah, 19%. It'll definitely light you up. Mike, what do you got here for tonight?
Well, you already gave me a hard time, but I'm starting off with the old liquid death. I'm trying to hydrate. I've got some in the fridge. It's delicious. This is the berry. And then the beer that I'm going to be enjoying is another Angry Chair that I've got hiding in my fridge.
Ooh.
Kind of badass looking label.
Yeah.
This is... couldn't even tell you what it's called now that I think about it.
Wow.
It's their Imperial German chocolate cupcake stout with coconut, cacao, vanilla beans, and lactose.
Nice.
So...
is there
These
in there too?
coconut chocolate combos stouts lately have been killing it.
They're really, it's just a solid combo, man. You can't go wrong with coconut and chocolate. So,
a little peanut butter too. Oh.
There we go.
Yeah.
Nick, what do you, honestly, I've got high hopes. That Hellman's mayonnaise stout that I had was so freaking good. It's just, I'm chasing that one.
I was actually going to ask you if that one has mayonnaise on it too.
It does not, but God, I wish it did. Because that mayonnaise one was so freaking good.
We should try to make our own beer, but use Japanese mayo.
Oh, God, let's not go down that rabbit hole again. We already tried that with mead. Come on.
That was the mead.
I mean,
we're going to do yours next time.
I wouldn't mind actually trying that again. I'm not going to lie. It was fun. It was cool. That
knowing my luck, like my son would just like pop that thing open and start drinking out of it. And then no.
Hey, if you see a spiral straw coming out of it, you know what's going on.
Listen,
Nick, what are you drinking?
All right.
They got to start sometime, man.
Absolutely. Started right. I gave my daughter a sip of that burial beer at number 3 the other day. She took a sip and she's like,
super good.
She's like, I can't drink that's beer. I'm like, just take a tiny sip. And she took a tiny sip and she was just kind of like, oh, that's kind of good. I mean, it doesn't taste like beer. That's delicious.
No.
But anyway, so I'm going a little bougie tonight on 2 aspects.
Shocking.
Yeah, right. It's my life.
Shocking.
Little espresso martini, a little vodka, Kahlua, and some fresh made espresso. And then once I finish that, I'm not going to go crazy, but Eric now has one as well. But going to crack this bad boy open.
Hell yeah.
Yamato Armor Edition Japanese whiskey. He's just pretty badass. He's literally got a upper set of metal armor on him. But yeah, this stuff's supposed to be pretty phenomenal. Really highly ranked and rated by Whiskey Advocate. So we'll see how this goes a little later when I decide to pour it and make a little mess of it. So
hell
nice.
Yeah. That looks awesome. It's probably by far one of like my favorite. You sent us a picture of it first, and then I got gifted that last week as well. Shortly after you sent that picture, after you got it, but yeah, it's badass. But
yeah, it's definitely like even next to my empty bottle of Louis the 13th, that's gonna be the most impressive bottle up there. Like once it's empty, hands down. Between that, the Louis, and then that special edition Suntory Hibiki that I had, the 17 painted. Like those 3 are gonna look awesome together. But that's gonna take the cake.
When are you really gonna go down the rabbit hole, Nick? That's the question. I've actually been asked.
Which rabbit hole haven't I gone down lately?
That's true.
So, when are you going to go get some Eagle Rare and some Blantons? And
I've had Eagle Rare on this podcast some tenure.
Mm-hmm. Did you have Eagle Rare?
Yeah.
All right. What about Blantons? Why is Blantons not on here?
Because every time it's available, they're charging way over. Just they're charging like secondary market prices at most of the stores, and I'm not going to pay them that. I'd rather, if I'm going to pay over, I'm going to pay somebody that had the foresight to buy a few bottles extra before I pay a shop that's going to charge $50 over MSRP.
See, I'm starting to go down this kind of rabbit hole where I probably know a few guys that know a few guys type thing.
Yeah.
But do I really want to go down that? Do I really want to go?
If you can find me a nice bottle of E.H. Taylor and a nice bottle of Blanton's, I might be willing to throw some cash at somebody.
I mean, like I said, I know some people. Might do it myself.
All I got to do probably is post up on the Southwest Florida Bourbon Society page.
Yeah,
that's like a poisonous page. Let me tell you.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Some people are posting up some really good shit in there.
I know.
Yeah. Anyways, on to car talk.
Let's talk about cars.
Let's talk about cars.
What's that?
First up, I'm going to rearrange the order that we have here.
I'm doing Nick a favor tonight. Wearing a Ford Performance shirt.
I had my hat earlier, my GT3 hat on earlier.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
But what are your thoughts on, and we kind of talked about it offline too, but what are your guys' thoughts on the new Lamborghini logo? First, before you guys give your input in, I want to say that Lamborghini did this whole extravagant, like, freaking reveal. Like, it was like this big ass video for, well, this. So, what are your guys' thoughts on the new logo?
I mean, it's the same thing, just flatter, less dimension to it. Like I mentioned it earlier, like, I remember the reveal, and I remember seeing like some Instagram posts from Lamborghini about like new logo incoming and like keeping it all cryptic. And then they release it. It's like, okay, maybe it's a little bit more modern, I guess, if you will. Like the lines are cleaner and the bowl's a little more, I don't know. It's just, Nick, you mentioned it earlier. It's just flat. Like it just looks flatter. That's all it is.
I didn't even know that kind of new logo. If I knew about it and I was like hyped to see it, I would have been incredibly disappointed. And I'm throwing this out there. None of us have a Lamborghini. None of us can currently afford a Lamborghini and also maintain our home and our children, all that shit. But besides the point, it literally looks like they went from a nice 3D model they probably thought was cool 20 years ago. Like, oh, we can make a 3D model, like a 3D looking one. And they just literally 2D'd it. Boom. Yeah. It's flat now. There's no dimension to it. Same exact colors, as far as I can tell. I mean, I don't think they're the only ones that have done that. I feel like somebody else did that recently too. Really, just muted out their emblem. It's like the new thing now, the minimalistic thing. But it's you know what? If I'm thinking about a Lamborghini someday, I don't want it to be minimalistic. That's the exact opposite of what that car's supposed to be.
Yeah,
it's supposed to be loud, just crazy looking.
Yeah, and I mean, to your point, I mean, like the last couple of cars that they've been releasing, like even like the Huracan Storado, the Huracan Evo, the STO, the Performante, the Technica, the Aventador SVJ. Those are all like pretty badass like cars that.
Yeah.
Oh my god, they're insane.
They're insane.
What's the other one? The Revuelto or something. The newest one.
The Revuelto is a hybrid or
a new Countach. Like
the new Countach.
Cars. And now they're going to be adorned with a very boring emblem for what it ultimately is.
I understand. I feel like I understand why they did it. Like I'm in a company where people reinvent themselves a lot. It's not the automotive industry, but like you kind of have to keep your logo relevant. Like I understand why they did it. And I even understand trying to modernize it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You got a different class of people now. You have YouTubers buying your car and not just old rich guys. Like it's a different group of people. So like I understand, but at the same time, to Nick's point, like, why not go even more lavish? Like
just wild somehow.
Like I don't know. Wild and insane looking. Like why would you like make it modern, but like I don't know, wild it up a little bit. Like I don't like it doesn't look bad. It's just like the same logo, just flatter and
about like reinventing themselves. Like we're not talking about Buick here. That's a dying breed because the old people are dying. Like,
of course not.
Like nothing's going stagnant with Lamborghini. They're not a dying breed. They don't need to reinvent. They are what they are, and that's why people buy them.
Just modernize.
So why?
Like I get it.
You know. They
get it.
spent they probably spent more money on somebody redesigning that logo than any of us will make in a year combined. Like probably some stupid amount of money just to redesign that silly little logo that doesn't do them any favors now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I feel
it's like
what do
it's
I
like
know?
you
My
said.
cars have 4 badges on them, so I can't.
I was gonna say. I mean, I
I'm
feel
in a
like we
different
could
tax bracket.
we could sit here and pick this apart in a lot of different ways, but like I don't know. I currently am not going to be able to own a Lamborghini, so it doesn't really matter. My opinion is
not right
nil.
now.
Not right now.
right
Someday,
maybe a used 308 with no engine. I could probably pick one of those up.
Yeah, like if there's one that just
That's
came
Ferrari,
out of a compactor or something.
I don't even know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I was going to say, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
But anyway, like,
or all of our viewers, listeners, and subscribers can like, comment, share, subscribe.
Yes,
you guys know what to do.
Do that so we can race.
And I'm still going to buy a Porsche.
Nah, not me. Not the first one. First one will be a Lambo. Mark my words.
Yeah,
I'll say it right now.
That's fine. I'll know what your headlights look like at all times. Don't worry.
You see, I would.
Yeah, I don't use brakes.
We're talking a lot of shit right off the bat here.
No brakes.
That's true. A lot of shit. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I'm only gonna make it. I'm only gonna see him for the first straight, and then after the next turn, I'll never see you again. But
exactly,
you won't see anything ever again.
Yeah,
can't see me.
Fucking barrel roll. All right, John Cena.
Eric, that post you shared on Instagram the other day, dude, I was cracking
because it's true. Like the first car is you, so the second one is Nick, and then I'm the third one.
Yeah.
The
first one was like on a nice solid. So our viewers are not going to see this unless Eric posts it somewhere. But like the first car goes around the corner. It's all animated, right? First car goes around the corner. I think it's a front wheel drive. It was like an Integra or something like that.
It might have been.
Goes right around, right?
But it was like an inline, like a race line, right? So it goes around the corner. The second car, I don't even know what it was, but it was like full flip, like
through the turn,
completely airborne,
barrel roll.
Flips off the course, and then the last one is an AE86 going, drifting around the corner. So it was just perfect. It was perfect.
Yeah, that's why that would be me.
I just have to say I cracked up when you sent that. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to share that, like, not on here because of the music that's actually in that video. I can't put it on here because of copyright reasons and YouTube. Thanks YouTube for all the copyright hits. Thankfully it didn't affect our channel because we're so tiny right now. Hopefully that changes relatively soon. But
like, share, and subscribe.
Yes, like, comment, share, subscribe. But I'll have to screen record it and then I'll share it to all of our platforms. Linktree link is going to be in the description below, so make sure you click on that link when you view this video, and you'll find that video actually in any one of our socials because I'll share it on all four social media platforms. But really, really funny. When you guys will see it, you guys will actually laugh at it, and it pretty much defines us. I feel like it actually really does.
Sadly.
Good call.
I have to admit, sadly.
Good call.
Yeah.
Very funny.
Next topic is, and this is a really big, sad kind of topic to talk about, but kind of goes hand in hand together with the Lamborghini news, but kind of sort of, but not really. But Audi officially killed the R8. Like, the last R8 rolled off of the production line. That is... Dude, it's so sad to hear that because the R8, I mean, like, from the first gen with the V10, and you can get it with a gated manual, which is badass.
Even the V8.
And
the 4.2
V8. And up to, like, the latest generation, they've all been beautiful, eye-catching cars. Like, they're, like, if you see one driving down the road, you know it's an Audi R8. Beautiful car, and unfortunately Audi decided to kill it, hopefully for bigger and better things. Hopefully not for a
probably electric.
I hope not. I hope it's not an EV replacement.
Stop it.
I
would be okay with a hybrid replacement, not an EV
replacement.
Me
too.
Which
like a hybrid
is
V8.
possible because Lambo's working on. They have a hybrid out now, right?
The Revolto, I think, is a hybrid. Let me double check that. Don't quote me on that. Let me double check that.
So here, while Eric's checking that, like, here's my question: is obviously that's Volkswagen Group, right? So Lamborghini still has a V10. It's always been the Lamborghini Audi V. The VAG Group V10 that's in the R8. So like, why are they doing away with the car completely? Do you think they're going to put a V10 in something else and just ditch the R8 badge? Do we think sales have slumped enough to where people don't care about the Audi anymore? Maybe they're all buying Huracans.
And maybe, but I feel like the bang for the buck, the Audi is the way to go ultimately. Plus, and the idea is when you're a manufacturer, you want to build like these like hero cars or halo cars, so to speak, that are that top of the trim. Where on a much smaller scale, this is the discussions we had with Hyundai and Genesis when I worked for them. Was the idea with launching this luxury brand was to get people as they grew up, got better careers, to jump from Hyundai right into Genesis, stay with the brand. And to me, Audi's kind of the similar idea of that, and not from like an Audi to a Lambo, but work your way up. Hey, when you're just getting started in your career and you can afford an A4, great. Oh man, suddenly now you're starting to have a family, SQ5 or Q5, whatever, Q7 if you need the space. And then, the idea is someday you want to grow into the ability to have an R8. That's like that top of the thing that you want to grow through the brand and get up to. And I feel like for some people that dream's going to be dead now. Because what's the closest Lambo? 50 grand more.
Probably for a base Huracan if they still sell those.
Like, so it's.
By the way, I did confirm the Revolto is actually a hybrid.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So could something like that be possible? Maybe. And even because technically the newest RS7s and RSQ8s are minor hybrid systems with the twin turbo V8. So maybe you'll see some kind of new coupey thing coming out with like an RS7/RS6 hybrid drivetrain in it. I mean, which I don't understand why they wouldn't keep it as the R8 and just introduce that new drivetrain, because it's such a beautiful car. But my thing about the R8 I love is it's almost understated. Like, it's simple, but it's just beautiful and clean. It's not aggressive like the Lambo. Like, some people aren't into that. Like, Lambo could be over the top for some people. So I don't know. It's I don't.
So I mean, let me ask. With Audi, they don't make the TT anymore, so that's another coupe. Is the only thing they're really making now is the 5, A5, RS5, S5.
Well, I think they're changing.
It's the only two-door
up.
sedan.
I think what they're doing now. What did they say they were doing? I think they said they were doing something now where, like, odd numbers are going to be sedans and even numbers are going to be coupes or something. Because I just read something someplace where like the A4 was going to be going back to like a coupe style thing, and all the A5s are going to be sedans or vice versa. So I don't know where I read that. I could be totally wrong.
That's a German thing, man. Between them, BMW and Mercedes, like, I never know what the numbers mean, and like I don't know. I'm so far out of touch with that. Like, Audi's been fairly easy to keep up with. Like, the 5 has always been the 2-door. Back seat, 2 doors. You can get a A5, S5, RS5. Just like
I take that back. Trims. I looked it up real quick before I forget. So the even numbers will be electric models.
Oh,
the odd numbers will be gas and diesels.
So like the 4 and the 6 are going to be electric.
Yeah, they said the next gen A4 and A6 Avant wagons will become an A5 and A7 Avant, technically same underpinnings, but the next A4 and A6 models will be electric, according to Drive.com.
So what does that mean for like the RS6?
Avant, is that done? Are they killing that too?
No, they said they're going to still have Avants, but they're going to be electrics. Yeah, they're going to change up a little bit in their style and their overall body design, I guess. But
it's weird.
I think you'll see the RS is changing too drastically. They're talking about the A's specifically. I don't foresee them going to an electric RS6 because people are going to lose their shit probably. Based on the fact that they can't sell the
back to the
e-trons they're selling for shit.
Yeah, well, like every other EV, we've talked about that a million times. But like, back to the Halo car. So the RS6 is now the Halo car. I guess they still have the RS7. I feel like the 7 is really not something that people care about.
No, people are still buying the RS7 because so when you look at the 6 and the 7, the 7's always been a little bit more expensive. When you get the RS level, they're much more comparable. But you also forget there's still the S8 and the S8 Plus out there.
Yes.
Which is the big boy running RS6/7 drivetrains. But
Yeah,
that's the big
just a
boy,
big
600 plus
SUV.
horsepower. Yeah, that's their new flagship now.
I don't know. If I had to pick between a 7 and a 6 Avant, no brainer.
Oh, the wagon wins all day, man.
Oh, every day, all day, every day. I used to be a big fan of like the S7
The
and the
coupe.
RS7 whenever I saw them. They
Yeah.
were kind of cool.
Oh yeah.
Sleek
Oh, yeah.
looking, like the way the back slopes down and everything. But like, I don't know. There's something about the wagon. Just
Yeah.
ultimate
You know,
dadmobile.
You know, with all these manufacturers and all these brands going to hybrid and electric, I'm literally just gonna say fuck all of these brands, and that includes like Lamborghini, Audi, and all the good shit. And I'm literally just gonna scoop this fucking thing up.
I know,
Bro,
you keep talking about that. You sent
you're
multiple
vibing on
posts
the
today about
Supra.
that.
Bro,
You're-
this is
you're
by
vibing
far
on
this
the
is
Supra.
this is like a goals car of mine. You guys do not understand. This is an
It's
AB
really
Plug
pretty.
Supra. Like, this thing was just modded so freaking well. Obviously,
It's-
Japanese. This is being sold at Japanese Classic. It was just posted today, actually.
I mean,
God,
that
look at
side
thing.
profile
It's-
and the
oh my
kit that's on
God.
there, it's really impressive.
It has me moist right now.
Sopping.
Mm.
And it's a manual. Look at that. I'm pretty sure it's turbo.
I ain't gonna lie, man. I love those wheels. The wheels that are
That
on that
manual-
thing are
That stick looks like it's a little cold.
Yeah.
well, and it's a twin turbo. It's not like they took the NA model and
Yeah, is it? It's in turbo. I was just gonna check
It
that
is.
out.
Oh god, I sure hope so. After all that work,
no, it's
It's a GTE. So it's at least a single turbo, and it's got BC Racing coilers, Duluck mirrors. Look
just
at that.
look at the wheels.
Oh, I know, like those wheels.
You know I'm
like,
a wheel whore. Come on,
Oh yeah, look at those. God, look at that.
they're pretty. It's got some meats on
that
it too. I
thing
mean,
is-
the rear's got some tire
is-
under there.
This would be like either this or the Veilside Fortune is like goals super for me.
Yeah.
So pretty.
I mean, that's
Anywho,
I
ideal.
was gonna say, talking about like JDM goals, I still will forever have a soft spot for Han's RX-7 with the Veilside kit from
Yeah.
Tokyo
Yeah.
Drift. That's
Yeah.
just that was my first dream JDM car as a kid, and I'll never
Well, not
forget
even
that
Tokyo
car.
Drift. Didn't Dom? What was the kit on Dom's in the first one?
Oh, I
Wasn't
don't-
that
I don't
Veilside
see
too?
him.
It was much more subdued and simpler. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
beautiful, gorgeous car, but
No,
not
it wasn't
as
the
over the
Veilside
top
kit.
as that
no.
Veilside kit.
Yeah,
no,
you're right.
no, that was a
I'm trying
pretty.
to I'm trying to
pretty
think now. That was a
factory-looking kit.
pretty well-known brand though.
It was
might
probably
have
like
been.
like Saban or whatever, whoever made
Yeah.
body kits way back in the early 2000s. It wasn't like a crazy Japanese
Yeah, it
body
was
kit
subtle.
though.
It was subtle and clean. Like, it wasn't
Yeah.
crazy. The Veilside one's wild, out of control.
Oh, yeah.
But I still have a
Absolutely
soft
wild.
spot for it.
Yeah. Anywho, yeah, I had to throw that out there because that thing is.
Well, yeah,
Beautiful.
and nobody's mentioned yet either. The last Audi R8 to roll off the line was Nick's favorite color too.
Ugh, I can't
Bright
believe
ass
dude, it
yellow.
should have been Nardo. Why wasn't it
Yeah.
Nardo or
Bright
Sepang
ass
blue or
yellow.
one of these iconic
Yeah.
Audi colors?
Well,
Like,
I don't
Yeah.
know. Like, I don't have a problem with yellow. I don't know that I'd ever own a yellow car. My wall is yellow behind me, but
they could have done something crazy. They could have been like,
They could
yo,
have.
let's take a
For-
Porsche paint them ash color and do like
for
something
like the
wild.
last car
Yeah.
to roll off the line, and that's the color. Like, come on.
You know what it
You
should have
could have
been?
done like
It should have been Merlin purple. Just because
According
I
to
never
you,
saw
it should have been Merlin purple.
that with carbon accents. Just
You know, I'm actually fine with that thing being yellow, so that if forever resonates in your mind that the last Audi R8 ever built was in yellow.
was Nick's
there
favorite
was
color.
one yellow car that I would be okay with.
Yellow Mazda
And we
RX-7.
just talked about it. An RX-7. That's the only
Ah.
yellow car I would ever think I could spend my money on is a yellow R. Because there's one that popped up, the
I think-
Affini.
What about
Yeah,
what about
yellow.
a sun?
It just
What about a
looked great.
sunburst yellow Miata, bro?
No.
What you got
It's-
against the sunburst NA?
I
I think it's
did not feel
CYM.
comfortable. I want one so bad. I want to have one and be able to use it. I
I want an RX. Dude, the FD has been like a dream car of mine for so
Competition
long.
yellow
but now
mica.
you can't find one for less than a decent one for less than like $45,000.
Oh yeah, if it's turbo, no.
That's not bad though. 45 compared to like a super,
Ah,
and okay,
that's-
compared to look, hear me out. Compared to a Supra and a GTT Skyline, 45 grand is not bad for the RX-7 because for the Supra, that Supra from Japanese Classics, the AB Plug one, is $80,000.
Yeah, I saw.
A GTT Skyline, which is a RB25 rear-wheel drive Skyline. It's not even an RB26 and all-wheel drive. It's a RB25 and rear-wheel drive. Is over $40,000. A RX-7, which is a very iconic car, to be 45 grand. Not bad.
You're saying all of these like it's acceptable for them to be that price, but really they're all overpriced in my mind.
Oh,
But that's
100%.
just the way the
are.
world is these days.
They are.
Yeah.
Like, honestly,
That's
like
just how it is.
we've talked about this on the podcast before, but we missed a mark for the right-hand drive car fad because, like, shit, I could have had an R32 GTR Skyline for 25 grand, and I missed that mark.
I know. I
It's like
remember.
It's like 50
I
grand
remember
more
when
now.
I had my Speed 3.
Yeah,
Before I bought the Miata, I looked at FDs, and there were like decent examples of them. And granted, these are USDM; these are not JDM, right? They're not right-hand drive. This was left-hand drive.
Yeah,
absolutely. But FDs were going for less than 20 grand back then, and I'm like,
honestly, lately I see more JDM imports than I do USDM market ones listed for sale. It's weird.
I guess the problem is like all the USDM cars have either been wrecked or ruined, or they're
held up
just
in collections or something.
They're held up, and people don't want to get rid of them anymore.
People are probably hoarding them.
Yeah. So I mean, it's now almost, to your point, it's almost easier now because I see them all the time now. I see JDM cars popping up everywhere because it's like maybe it's easier to get them. It's more expensive because you're getting an imported vehicle, but
perfect example, like Japanese Classic is one of them. Crash Sports, which I'm pretty excited that I'm going to be headed there on Saturday. I've been there before, but you want to do the Crash Sports? Okay,
I want to go.
I'll be in Harry Potter World. But
I'm kind of jealous about that because Harry Potter World is awesome. By the way,
I would love to do Crash Sports for cars and coffee, though.
But by the way, your car would be perfect. By the way, tell your wife that they still have pumpkin juice at Universal. Last time I checked, they still do.
Oh, she's not. I like that. She's not big into that.
They always do.
Because her and I were talking when she dropped me off at the airport when I went to go pick up the Cedric. That she was like, like they stopped making pumpkin juice, and I'm like, what, really? And I looked it up, and they still have it on tap. So
she thinks it's too sweet half the time. I like it. I like it a lot. Random nerd talk. I prefer pumpkin juice because I feel it's not as sweet as the butterbeer.
Butterbeer
is delicious. It's good.
It's delicious.
But
it's very sweet.
It's a little too sweet for me. That's why I prefer the pumpkin juice.
Yeah, but you're doing it wrong. So here's what you do. You go order a butter. This is off topic. You go order a butterbeer at the the Hog's Head or the Three Broomsticks. You go get a butterbeer.
Wait, hold on. Is that on the Diagon Alley or is that on Hogsmeade side?
The Hogsmeade side.
The original.
Yeah. So you go there, you get your butterbeer. While you're at the bar, you also order a double shot of their fire water, which is basically cinnamon whiskey.
Okay.
And they tell you, hey, they're very upfront about it. Like, we know what you're going to do. Go outside and mix it. So you go outside, you mix the two, and now you've got basically a fireball whiskey double shot in your butterbeer.
So you made it even sweeter, is what you're saying.
Nah, alcohol cuts in the sweetness.
Hold on. Nick, I showed you a video.
A shot, and then we drink the stuff. But one way or the other. Yeah.
Nick, I showed you a video when I was at your house on Sunday to get Fireball into the parks.
Oh, I did see that. Yeah, we don't have an electric scooter, though.
Shh. You can't let out the secrets, bro. So you have to try that. Hello, you've got kids. We can do that to the strollers.
My kids aren't going. Dude, Harry Potter World's for me and the wife.
That's true.
Plus, it's our anniversary weekend because our anniversary is on Tuesday, so that's why we're doing it this weekend to get away.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're going up Friday afternoon and just through Sunday.
I was at Nick's house on Sunday, and something popped up, and somebody got like an electric scooter, and they leaned it back, and they lined the whole, like one of the crevices with nothing but Fireball. Like there must have been at least like 30 bottles of the little ones.
Yeah.
Like the single shots.
That's not a bad idea. Doing that on the bottom of a stroller where nobody's going to see it.
Yeah.
For smart.
Just saying.
Anyways.
Yeah. On to the next topic. So we have it's just more along the lines of the sound of this thing. We all saw it in live in person at Sebring on display.
Though.
We didn't hear it.
Yeah.
Which I actually took a picture of it, and I'll post that right here. and it's obviously the GTD Mustang. And bro, that video that I sent you guys on Instagram it was at Road Atlanta, dude, with that supercharger whine. Oh my god, bro, that thing sounded so badass. I'm not gonna lie, that's like one of the first times that I got excited to see a Mustang with camo like at a track, because I'm like, all right, this thing means business. It means business.
They fucking mean business. Like the whole world knows how capable the S550 is, and now with the new S650, which is essentially the same, just some updates and whatnot. But like that GTD is that's a whole hell of a lot of car.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
drinking whiskey,
Japanese whiskey
glass.
Oh yeah, nice. Hell yeah, nice touch.
Yeah, I had to grab that glass for this.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I find it hilarious, dude. I used to talk shit on Mustangs so bad. And now that I make money selling them, and I've gotten a chance to play with them some more. Now, I always used to talk shit because they'd be like, oh, we're better than Corvette. No, you're still not. You're still not. But for what the car is, it is a phenomenal piece of machinery. It's just the unfortunate part that usually young, dumb kids buy them and crash them. That's where the bad reputation comes from. But
yeah, but you know what though, and sorry to cut you off, Mike, but
no, you're
just
good.
one quick note. I feel like us in specific, we're car enthusiasts. We love all cars. We appreciate all cars. I can actually say that as I've aged, I can actually appreciate both the Mustang and the Corvette and the Camaro. Same with Japanese cars, older classic cars, exotic cars, and things like that. So they all obviously have like their purpose and their place, like in the car community. And yeah, I mean, shit, right. I can appreciate both.
I'm right there with you. Like, really, anymore, nothing in my mind really sucks except for like Chrysler products and Dodge. But aside from that, everything else is pretty. Hey,
Altimas,
USDM
Nissan, buddy.
No bueno. Japanese purpose Nissans. Except for my misfire right now, but
I'm in the same boat as you guys, but like probably even more so. Like I have never liked Mustangs, never have. All through the 90s, terrible looking. Early 2000s, terrible. Like basically until
funny. What's funny is
like,
what are you considering to buy now?
Well, let me finish. So I like early on Mustangs. So like 60s, right? Badass looking cars, beautiful. Eleanor from Fast and the
Gone in 60 Seconds.
Gone in 60 Seconds.
Oh yeah,
phenomenal car.
Iconic.
Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Well, anyway, you have those. I even like the Fox body. Like I don't know, weirdly, like a modified, lowered Fox body with like some wide fenders and aftermarket wheels. Just looks great. But I find myself looking at S550s now because the 5-liter in them is phenomenal. Revs to the moon for a V8. It throws a shit ton of power out for 5 liters. They are super mod friendly. Like there's guys stock blocks pushing well over 800 horsepower, 900 horsepower, no problem, none whatsoever. The 10-speed is stupid fast. I hear there's some issues with the 6-speeds. Nick, I don't know, you might be able to talk about that a little bit more. I've heard
some people complain about the MT82, which is in most of all the GTs really. They complain about those, and it's unfortunate because
shift forks, I think, are pretty weak.
But the Mach 1 and the
GT
Dark Horse have the Tremec T56 in them, so that's what most people want. Because I mean, Tremec's just a classic, powerful transmission. But yeah, the MT82 can have some weak spots, but again, it's a known thing. I mean, nobody wants to crack open a transmission to fix it or preparatorily like just take care of it up front, but it's something that can be fixed up front. So it's like, but I have to disagree with you. Anything for me, Fox body until the S550 looked like shit to me.
100%.
Absolutely garbage. Fox body through
Oh, see,
Started
I like the
X650,
Fox
like,
body. Weirdly enough, I like
I'm
the
with
Fox body.
Mike. I'm
But
with Mike on this one. I can appreciate the
dude,
Fox
I mean,
body.
but I also like the Chrysler Conquest and the Mitsubishi Starion, like
well, no,
that kind of
I like those two, right? But
boxy
like the Fox
looking.
body, just we had this
God, I saw
discussion the other
one.
day about mullets.
Dude, I wish I
No,
took a
it's a
picture of
mullet
one.
car.
I
It's a mullet car.
saw a Fox body on Instagram the other day. It was like Nardo gray, which is a super popular color to paint
So
cars
in
these
a
days.
Mustang, we call that primer, first of all.
Yeah.
We've already talked about Nardo gray, okay, but it looks good. This thing was so badass. Had some sort of like aftermarket wide body, like front and rear fenders. It was slammed, big fucking meaty tires on it. It
But at
looks
that
so
point, it's
good.
no longer the car that it used to be. And to that, it's when it's that heavily
Yeah,
modified. I mean,
100%. I do not
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
factory looking Fox
No.
bodies. I like
No, not at all.
modified
Oh
looking
no.
Fox bodies.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So
Especially they have an LS in them.
Speaking of Fox bodies, and actually, this is actually going to lead into our
We're not
next
talking
topic.
about the Fox butt plug tails again, are we?
We are.
Oh, okay. All right. I mean, I'm here for it.
Okay.
those are only for
So-
use in Sebring, guys. Stop it.
Speaking,
That's right.
Speaking of Fox bodies, so our next topic or talking point is actually going to be Chelsea DeNofa. You guys know that he's got a Fox body Mustang, right?
Yep.
Have you guys
I
seen
did
it?
know that. Not a long time. I knew he had one. I think I saw it in like I remember looking at like I don't know, some sort of reel or something where he showed like his car collection and I saw it.
Yeah,
But-
so I'm trying to pull up a picture here. I'm wondering if I can open this. Let's see what they have. Because they have, I hate websites with ads.
Me too. By the way, YouTube, give us ads and monetization.
Yes. Okay, so this is his Fox body Mustang. So obviously it's got like,
Damn, dude, it looks like I drove it.
dude. All right, here's the thing though. This thing is
He made
badass
it.
because he has it's got an EcoBoost motor in it. I'm pretty certain that it does, and it was actually built together with Team RTR because at that point in time he was with RTR, obviously with Formula D. Obviously last end of last year after he won the championship, he bowed out and he retired from FD. But yeah, this is his car. He actually I lied. It's a supercharged Coyote V8. Yeah, it's a notchback. So it's super rare.
Yeah.
Fox body because the most common one actually is a hatchback. The notchback is actually a little bit more rare. So
super rare. Let's crash into walls. Woohoo!
Yeah. Well, no. Here's the thing. He does not. And I'm gonna say this while there's like a fender mark or like a wall tap right here, but
Did you see the whole front of the car?
He does not really tap into people. But well, that is more cause from him door tapping people. He doesn't really crash. Like Chelsea DeNofa is a freaking.
It does. Sure,
yeah. Okay.
Sir, that's not a door. That's a front bumper he hit.
So I was right. It was an EcoBoost. So he has a 2017 2.3 liter EcoBoost Mustang motor in it. So
that's just it. I mean, they don't weigh much. That's probably enough power to slide that thing.
It doesn't, but his actually has a pretty decent amount of horsepower. I think his is like 300 or 400 horsepower.
Look how far that thing is back in that engine bay too, man. That balance has to be great.
It needs to be because like ideally with drift cars, like a lot of the weight you want them to be between the actual
you want that weight
wheelbase
behind the front axles.
Well, it's between the wheelbase itself. So yes, you are correct. It's behind the axle. So Chelsea DeNofa and his Fox body car is the reason why I actually want to get an EcoBoost Mustang and just slide the shit out of it because this is my inspiration, but I don't want to get a Fox body. And I don't want to pay Fox body price. I know you can, but I want an EcoBoost eventually at one point just to start sliding the shit out of it. But dude, look at this thing. Like it is, I mean, granted, like don't get me wrong. It's got a ton of battle scars. It's got a fuel cell right there. The floor is actually being caught up and stuff.
It's also used,
but
you know,
that's
a purpose. That's a purpose built
BC. Yeah, BC Racing coilovers because when you shoot for gold.
Hey, my BCs are somewhere on their way from Asia. So
I know. But yeah, this thing is badass. All right, let me stop sharing this. I love his car. Anyways,
Eric, unfortunate if you haven't known this yet, but you'll never own a factory manual S650 EcoBoost.
That's fine. I'll buy an S550.
I'm just letting you know. As good looking as the S650 is, they do not build it now with manual.
Easy solution. I'll buy an S550.
Much cheaper solution too.
I'm totally fine with it being used. Which, speaking of which, Nick, if all things kind of align correctly, you know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna need the hookup on EcoBoost Mustang. I'm just saying, bro.
I got you. But
he hasn't even found me a GT Mustang to test drive yet, so
it'll be easier to find an EcoBoost manual.
Eric, I swear to God, if you fucking buy a Mustang before, if you fucking beat me
Mustang, to it, I'm gonna launch the Cedric for an RX-7. It's just gonna be
the funny shit is that no, and the reason why Mike is saying that is because I got a Corvette first than him.
Yeah,
and if I get a Mustang first than him. But no, here's the thing. Before I got the Corvette, I did say that I would not mind an EcoBoost Mustang. Right around the same time frame, my C6 popped up, and I was like, you know what? I can entertain this, and I bought it.
You have been talking about an EcoBoost for quite a while. Longer than I've even had any interest in it, but
exactly. And at least I would get a EcoBoost. And I would get an EcoBoost and not a V8. So I'll let you keep the GT. I will just get the EcoBoost so I can smash it up against the wall.
Speaking of some of these, speaking of Mike's dream cars, one of my sales guys just traded in his 2-year-old SS Camaro for a 18 Z06 C7.
Ooh, nice.
So now we have two Z06 C7s sitting on my lot for employee parking lot.
What year was his SS?
22, I think.
Was it a 2SS?
I think so. I don't know. I just know it was a stick shift and
it just has more tech. So back to that. I want a Camaro because I think they look better, but they are so much more expensive than comparably equipped Mustang GT.
Yeah.
It's crazy. There's you can find similar mileage, same year, comparable package, maybe a 1SS versus a GT Premium, I think is what they called it with S550.
Well, so they have a GT Premium, which gives you leather seats and a bigger screen, but there is a GT Performance Pack that also gets you the better rear diff, gearing, and a track
Recaros.
That would be close to that would be comparable to a 1LE though. Wheels, seats, suspension bits.
That's basically what their track pack is. They only call it a track pack when it's on the Shelby version, but they're it's basically getting Mach-E suspension at that point is the way it is. That's why I would want the GT Performance Pack.
My whole point behind this is I would like a Camaro. That would be the ideal way. I think that I would like to go very soon, within I would say 6 months. But
you've been saying 6 months for a lot longer than 6 months. I'm just saying.
Well, we've got so I got to spend money on some other things before I can bite on this. But anyway, soon enough, right? But the problem is there's a good $10,000 swing between those two cars, and it's why? It's almost the same thing, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. Just my thought.
Yeah.
Doesn't help that they stopped producing the Camaro. So
yeah, no, it doesn't help.
Part of the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So back to Chelsea DeNofa.
Yeah, we got way off on that one.
Yeah, we did. Well, kind of, sort of. It's still in the family because he was with Team RTR and he drifted his own Fox body Mustang, and he drifted a 1200 horsepower S550 monstrosity on track. But now
he has a really cool new car.
Bro, Chelsea DeNofa is Chelsea DeNofa is living my best life. Because one, he's probably by far one of the best drifters in the world. There's a lot of people that have been dubbed the best drifter of the world, but in my opinion, in regards to driving style, aggressiveness, and just when he actually has the right mindset, consistency when it comes to driving, Chelsea DeNofa is the best drifter all around. He's a really good grassroots drifter. He's a really good competitive driver. Obviously, based off of last year's performance, he won the World Drivers' Championship for Formula D here in the United States. But he just built, and I'm really, really, it's just funny to say this because Nick has a Project Porsche too, but he has a Cayman, a 718 Cayman drift car. Like, bro, this thing has been making so many rounds, like, in the internet. It's not even funny.
Yep.
And it is badass.
It's badass, dude.
Insert clip right here.
How did you do that? How did you do that?
So, but yeah, that thing is a freaking monster, man. Like, that thing, like, as you guys or whoever's watching it on YouTube, obviously on Spotify, you won't be able to see it on Spotify, but on if you're watching it on YouTube, you can see that the chasing tire. So obviously, if you're drifting towards the left, the right tire is the chasing tire. It like lifted off the ground, like in a mid-engine car. Like, that shit's crazy. He obviously did that shit in his Mustang all the freaking time because those Mustangs were built that way. But dude, that thing is
the thing that I can appreciate about it, dude, is like it looks pretty stock.
Yeah,
like minus an angle kit, and I'm sure he's got some work done to it. I think it's got to be tuned.
Oh, yeah.
He's got to have some work under it, but it just looks stock. Like most drift cars are kind of outlandish looking.
Not really.
So there's quite a few that are pretty outlandish looking, but
you have both ends of the spectrum. You have like your more stock / beat up cars. You have your drift missiles, and then like based off of the guys that Nick actually took a picture of. I can't remember, Daily Drifters or Drift Dailies or something like that. I can't remember who they were.
I think it's Daily Drifters because it's
Daily Drifters.
Yeah.
The pink cars,
Dailies and Daily Drifters are the two local groups.
Yeah, so like those guys, they have like a crazy livery. Looks cool. It not to knock them. It is a pretty badass livery. But you have like different kind of size to the spectrum when it comes to actual cars and how they look. But yeah, it's a really stock looking car.
For sure. I mean, definitely. I mean, other than like you could tell by looking at it sitting still, it's obviously got an angle kit and like a crazy amount of negative camber. Like you can tell that thing means business, but it's still super cool. Like, I don't know that I've ever seen anybody drifting a Cayman. Like,
really funny. So not a Cayman, but way back in the early 2000s, there was a Formula D 911 GT2 car, drift car. So this actually was so it's JIC Magic Hankook 993 RS GT2. So this was actually in Formula D for a couple years, and it was driven by Tyler McGuire. Like I said, it wasn't around for a very long time. It looked badass.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, so this is way early 2000s. So like you're talking about like the very early days of Formula D.
Early days of drifting.
Yeah, and this is like way past actual D1 GP when it was here in the US. This is actual Formula D, obviously based off of his banner up here. It says that it's Formula D. So I guess you can say that Chelsea DeNofa's car is the second big drift car that actually a big Porsche drift car, because obviously you have that JIC 992 GT2 RS, and then now you have his 718.
It's still super cool.
Is it 718 or 918, Nick? Is it a
I think it's
718?
718 is the
718.
Cayman
718 came in, yeah. The
slash
Boxer.
Boxster. 918 is the
Okay.
hypercar.
Oh, okay. Yes, you are right. Yeah, so the 718 came in. So it's dude, that thing is sick and it's rowdy as hell. Step it
Yeah,
up, Nick.
I like it.
He built that thing in a couple months. Step it up.
Well, I had YouTube monetization, maybe.
Like, comment, share, and subscribe.
Yes,
so
like,
Nick can
comment,
finish
share,
his
subscribe.
Porsche.
And then you can watch me do some really stupid things in it. On or off the track.
No,
Not
you.
I just want to do stupid shit on track.
Yeah, and I don't
Just
even make
wanna
enough money to upgrade the brakes because let's be real, I don't use those, so I just need the engine, really.
Yeah,
Just want to do hood rat things with my friends.
yeah.
Exactly.
We also need a tire sponsor, so Falcon, Hankook, Pirelli, whoever.
Firestone, for that matter. I really like my Indy 500s on all my cars.
Firestone, dude. Honestly,
We've all
like,
used those multiple times.
I'm not gonna lie, like with how grippy like the Firestones are, my next car is more than likely gonna be a drifty boy car. I'm probably gonna run in Firehawk Indy 500s. They're
Dude,
super grippy.
I'm
Like-
not gonna lie to you. I remember buying those back when I had my Infinity. So this is going on like, I don't know, 6 years now, 6, 7 years. And that was like before those Firehawk Indy 500s were like popular. They were like,
Yeah.
that was like the cheap, one of the cheap entry level options for tires. And I got those things. And I was like, holy shit, these things are awesome. Now they're
Yeah.
like pretty popular. They're
So here's my
Bro.
thing with
pretty
them.
tire.
Just kind of a plug for them. So my Genesis, I eventually switched over to those after about 19,000 miles because my
Mhm.
Michelins, my Pilot Sports were done. They were smoked. I think the Indy 500s, not only do they cost probably barely more than half of the Michelin Pilot Sports, they're just as grippy. I did
Yep.
just as well autocrossing with them. They lasted
Oh, yeah.
longer. I think they're quieter.
Oh yeah,
Like, for the bang for your buck on the Bridgestone or the Fire,
dude.
I'm not gonna lie.
Firestone Indy, the Firestone Firehawk Indy 500s
Indy 500
are a phenomenal performance engine for a daily
Oh, yeah.
performance tire for a daily driver, for an occasional track car, autocross, whatever you want to
Mhm.
call it. They're a great tire.
Yeah,
Well,
I
and it's a
mean,
good
I
all-weather
already have one of the
tire
Nissan.
as
Yeah.
well, because they're really good in the rain too. But
Yeah,
like, I'm
they
not gonna
are.
lie, like I really I don't know. I have a
It's
thing
important
about
down here.
very important. I have a
Yeah.
thing about like asymmetrical tread pattern too. I just think it looks better. Just that's me.
So-
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm weird about tires. I like
I know
asymmetrical
you
tread
also
pattern.
have a thing against rotationals, so another reason you like these.
Yeah.
What do
Wasn't
you
it you
mean?
that hated rotationals, like the directional tires?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
hate directional tires.
Yeah.
Like if
Yeah,
it's
these
got
aren't.
if
These
it's
are.
paddle- oh
Yeah.
god, they're terrible. But yeah,
Yeah.
great tire, fantastic tire.
Yeah.
I like them a lot.
Yeah.
Firestone, hit us up.
Yeah,
Yes, hit us up, Firestone. I can proudly say, okay, no, and this is me being genuine. I've taken my Corvette up to the Carolinas twice, driven both times up to the Tail of the Dragon. I have autocross with those tires multiple times, maybe like 2 or 3 times at least, like with those Firehawk Indy 500s, and done a lot of stupid hood rat shit, done criminal speeds with those tires on. Never
in
had an issue.
Mexico.
In Mexico, yes, in Mexico. So Firestone, hit us up, sponsor us. We're a huge advocate of your Indy 500 tires. We will,
Gladly plaster logos all over everything.
bro. I would
Yeah,
literally,
100%.
I would put a massive sticker on the side of mirrored on the Corvette just for Drifted Boy looking
That
status.
looked
But
dope.
anyways,
Actually, I'm not gonna lie to you. That looked
it
pretty
would
dope.
it would. But dude, like, yeah, those fucking tires are great. Like, I honestly, moving forward, like, I would probably buy Firehawk Indy 500s as long as I can. Hopefully they continue to manufacture these tires for it in an
Mhm.
extensive period of time. But I will use them for daily use, for abusing purposes, for tracking purposes. They're great tires. Like, I
Yeah.
have nothing bad to
They-
say about them. And sorry to interrupt, Mike, but I have
Alright,
to
it's
say
fine.
one thing, and it is that everybody and their fucking mother in mostly every Corvette page that's out there, they say use run flats. Use run flats. Run flats are garbage tires to run in a Corvette because it is a performance car. Dude, I have not had any issues with my Firehawk Indy 500s, and I will from now. I'm actually a person that actually am big and actually Mike and Nick, you guys are the exact same way. We are very, very huge advocates for the brands that we actually trust. And for me, for myself, like this is why like Nick actually bought BC. Is like I'm a huge advocate for BC. Like I love BCs. Like I had them on my BRZ. I have them on my Corvette. I love BC racing coilovers. Firehawk Indy 500s. You guys are on that book as well.
Nice.
I also
Good
bought
tires.
PCs because they're the only company that makes the spindle
fucking
version.
Damn it, Nick.
Yeah, it was either them or Megan's, and I'm PCs all day. But
God, you just fucking ruined that, man. It was a very like hard on my sleeve speech for like
Listen,
BC
let's
and
be real.
Firehawk, and you just fucking ruined it.
If the money wasn't an issue, I'd be rolling some Olins on everything. So I'm just saying.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But
Fortune
Fortune suspension, KWs.
You know what?
God.
Long, man.
You might as well. You
I
might
would
as well
still
put
run-
some bougie wheels on there too. Then if you're gonna go that route.
No, exactly. My Cosmos are way under Olin level. They are BC coil level totally. However, to your point, Eric, mentioning KW variants makes a set for my Porsche that I'm not going to buy because they're like 4Gs, but they're out there.
Yeah.
My ground, was it ground? I don't even remember now. Whatever. Forget me. I can't remember what the hell I bought for the damn Porsche now at this point.
Yeah.
Here
And on
comes
that
the
note,
beverage recap.
Ground control.
Yeah,
That's what they are. Yeah.
And on that
Porsche is
note, let's go ahead and do a beverage recap. I was just getting
you
to
like
that,
my-
Mike.
Did you like my little subtle little subtle reminder?
or very obvious reminder.
I will say it's pretty funny. Like the little gold tooth on the can
didn't
has a
even
little
see that.
little AC for Angry Chair. It's pretty funny.
I didn't even see that. Okay, so my Don's Jord, whatever, Jod, whatever you say.
John's Mild.
Don's Mild, yes.
Majord.
I don't speak.
Don't worry, Eric.
Viking,
I
right?
am white enough to pull that one off. I know I
Okay.
can't speak Spanish
Cool.
like you can, but I can pull that
Okay,
one
cool.
off. So that's what I got. I guess all I got.
Fancy Majord.
Fancy majority.
Yes, gracias. No, let's pull out this guy again, and I'll start speaking like fluent Spanish. And
Yeah,
you'll be
Ricky
like,
Ricardo
all right.
over here.
God.
Yeah.
Lucy.
All right. Anyways, this fucking guy over here, dude, it is good. I'm not gonna lie, it is a little bit more on the sweeter end. I've had a couple of other of their
I'm surprised
meats.
with the hops in it. I figured it would be
Yeah.
a little. Yeah.
I was hoping it was going to be a little bit more subtle. It is a little bit on the sweeter side. I'm kind of okay with that because it kind of does mask a little bit of that hops, because I feel like with a mead, it shouldn't be hoppy. It should be a little bit more on the sweeter side. So you get like the subtle hints, like obviously like the apple is like there in your face, but the hops is actually very subtle. And I feel like the sweetness does do a good job kind of masking that hops a little bit. I'm a huge fan of these guys. I will forever continue to buy their meads, especially if they come out with new different flavors. They're good. If you guys ever see these, I think I got this one and another bottle that was drank months ago at ABC Liquor or Total Wine. Obviously you can get those if you're here locally here to South Florida. Hit up number 3, because I think this is actually where he does carry them. And I'm pretty sure this is where I actually got this one, if I'm not mistaken. But Dance Mio, awesome, really good. I've enjoyed every single one of the meals that I've actually drank so far, so I'm extremely happy with this one as well.
Nice.
Mike,
The
how was your
Angry
water?
Chair. Dude, I'm not gonna lie to you. Anybody watching this, like, drink Liquid Death. This stuff's good.
I'll never knock it. It's the only sparkling water I like.
Man, they've got really good flavors.
Okay.
The
Hold on.
water
The
is
tea.
really
I drink
good.
the
They
tea on a
have
daily
tea now.
basis.
The teas
Daily
are
basis.
phenomenal. Really,
The
really
peach.
good.
Oh, the peach.
Plus, I'm going to definitely throw a little nod out here to Liquid Death. And Eric, please tag them in this because they're really active on social media. And I hope they watch this. Their fucking marketing is so good.
Yeah.
Like,
Do you know why? Do you know why? The guy that started the company left. He's a marketing professional.
Yes.
Left the company as one of their marketers. And then, so I looked into this. Dude, the guy spent $1,500 making a wild commercial for a product, Liquid Death, that did not
exist yet.
And it went viral. So he had to create the product.
Yeah.
And here they are now. Now they went from $1,500 to being a multi-million-dollar company. It's
glorious. Not only did it not exist, right? He made the marketing campaign that was so successful, but they started off as just still water.
Yeah.
As
Just
like kind of
regular
like
water.
a joke. Like, hey, drink canned water. It's good for the environment, whatever. And then like made it metal.
They're not wrong.
And like,
No,
it is
Yeah.
for sure. But it's good. It's good water. But I just love the marketing. Like if you follow their Facebook or their Instagram, it's just it's hilarious. It's real metal, real dark.
I got a guy at work, and I hope he listens to this episode. He's my commercial manager. Every time I break a can out, and he's like our size, dude. He's 6'2", 6'3", big ginger beard, like big dude. Every time I pop a can out, he takes his obviously I don't wear one, but he takes his cross out and he puts it on his chest. So ready one day, dude, he goes into my refrigerator, he takes it, he puts little crosses all over it. He's like, "Why come down?" I'm like, "Oh yeah." I turn it upside down. He was like, "No." Rips the cross out real quick. I was like, "Gotcha, bitch."
Oh, it's so good, man.
I didn't see that happening.
That's hilarious.
By the way,
a little bit of demon in every can.
By the way, we're not against religion. It's just a joke. Obviously,
it's a joke. Well, it's funny because like at least he's got a sense of humor about it as well.
He
does.
He does.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Anyway, the water.
Shout out.
Really good.
Shout out to your buddy.
Dan. Dan's an awesome guy, but I love messing with him with Liquid Death.
Shout out to Dan. I do have to say, so Liquid Death, like I started drinking. Actually, Nick, you got us into Liquid Death because of the whole marketing thing that they had.
Oh, it was glorious.
Yeah. So the company, the company that I work for started selling it a few years ago, and then I started like it was just the still, and I was like, oh, this is pretty good. And then they released the sparkling.
Yeah.
Then just regular sparkling. And then the flavors came out. And the flavors were like, oh my God. It's
the flavors
awesome.
are great, dude.
And then the teas now.
Buried Alive or whatever is great.
So
that's
what you're drinking?
That's what I'm drinking.
Great.
Buried Alive.
And the severed lime.
The lime is really good. I'm not going to lie though, man. I really like the melon that's got like the spice to it. It's got pepper in it.
That's one of the newer ones, isn't it?
Probably. It's
one of the ones that came out recently. Yeah.
So it's like spicy watermelon. It's so good.
Like tagine, or tahine.
Watermelon water. Have you not had it? I think it's called slaughtermelon or something like that.
Yeah, I haven't tried that one yet. I've had the severed lime.
So good.
I've had the buried alive, and there's another one that came out at the same time that I've had. I have not had the slaughter.
I think it's called slaughtermelon, or maybe that was
a beer. I don't know. For them, that's fitting for them. If it's not, they need to make it.
It's either way, it's the melon one.
Yeah.
Really
so they actually have they just recently changed the name for it, but their armless Palmer, which is now called I might get this wrong, but I think it's now in the future due to I guess you could say copyright reasons. It's now going to be called Dead Billionaire. Yes, Dead Billionaire.
Basically, the state of Palmer them and said, cease and desist, stop this shit.
Yes, it is. But it was actually, it wasn't actual the Arnold Palmer estate. It was Arizona that actually sent them the cease and desist, right? Is that right?
It might have been a combo. I think it was because they were.
I think it was the family.
Yeah.
So do you think it was the family? Okay.
Using his name and stuff like that, and they, Because it's definitely so far from what Arizona makes. I don't think they'd have any right to say anything.
No.
The family, however, in the estate, using his name on something they don't agree with, which are little bitches. But that's just what it is. You know what I mean?
That's neither here or there.
That's a great way to immortalize his name even more. Like, come on.
It is.
God, it was so good, and the fact that now they call it the dead billionaire. That's even better.
Well, that's awesome.
Oh my God, bro.
That's hilarious. It's like, all right, fuck you. Watch this.
Yeah.
So that's actually a really good one. I actually did not. I bought two of actually we were at Sebring and I bought two
it's not
of the peach
melon.
ones.
It's convicted melon.
Convicted melon. Okay.
Slaughter melon. Now
it's that one.
It's sinking in. Slaughter melon is actually a watermelon sour from Tampa Bay Brewing Company. Also, really good beer.
Well, I gotta try that because that name's just badass.
Yeah,
it's cool.
Also, I do have to say that if you are in the Tampa area, obviously we're in Lee County and the Fort Myers general area. Hit us up in the Linktree below. Let us know if you want us to have us in your brewery. We definitely want to do a remote podcast at your location. There's a couple places that we would love to actually enjoy having a podcast at.
Let's add brewery, distillery, meadery. I mean, we drink it all.
This is true. We drink it all. Like we appreciate, obviously, Booze, Bros, and Cars. We appreciate every single type of booze that's actually out there. Where we don't discriminate on any type of booze, but there are some places in Tampa that we would love to actually go visit. There's one in specific.
I know a few that would welcome us with open arms.
Yeah, but there's one in specific that I really want to reach out. Like I don't know if you have any contacts with them, but there is a specific meadery out there that we need to do a podcast before July, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh, they'd probably be open. I mean, from my times visiting there, we
can figure that out. We can figure that out.
I may have to hit them up already on social media before July, but we have to commit to actually going there before July for specific reasons.
Yeah, I derailed this whole thing so bad. Anyway.
Yes, you did.
This was really good.
It's my fault.
Yes, you did.
Yeah,
Mike, continue.
This was delicious. I'm not gonna lie, the Hellman's mayonnaise was a little bit better. This was really good. The coconut was really, really sweet, though. Like, I don't want to say like too sweet, but borderline too sweet. I mean, this was a really, really sweet beer. I liked it, but I don't know. It was a little bit too sweet for me.
I got you.
Maybe especially at 9:00 at night, but it was really good. I enjoyed it. Everything I've had from Angry Chair's been delicious. So,
speaking of being late at night, espresso martini was delicious. This was my second, and if I decide to, I've got a third pre-made out there.
Lord, bro. Dude, I would be up for a week. It's delicious, but goddamn.
Yeah, I don't know, man. They just go so well with as much Kahlua and vodka that I put. So for anybody that's looking, basically it's pretty simple. Basically, here's the way I make it for anybody that's looking for a simple espresso martini. Like, we bought an espresso maker, and I'm going to shout out, we use Bones coffee beans exclusively. I ran out of their dark roast, so we are using their Sugar Rush, which is a sugar cookie flavored one right now. But typically we use their Dragon's Lair for our espresso maker because it's a nice dark roast, not very oily, and it doesn't jam up the grinder, which is great. But I do, for two drinks, I do 4 ounces of espresso, which is 2 double shots, 3 shots. I take it back. Vodka is about 3 times 1.75 ounces, so a little well over a shot. And then so it's three parts of that to 2 parts of Kahlua. Basically, I just fill my jig up on the biggest side twice, and then 3 times with the vodka, 4 ounces of this in a shaker with some ice, pour it out in these nice glasses. Me and the wife each have a drink. It's great. Super simple. Even if you don't have an espresso maker or a Keurig or whatever, you can pull this one off. As far as the whiskey goes, this is just delicious. Eric, you're gonna absolutely love it. So for those that don't know,
crack that open next.
Kind of came around because the Japanese wanted dark liquor and whiskeys, and they're not as big into the smokiness that we are and stuff. So typically when you have a Japanese whiskey, it's not aged as much. It's a little bit lighter in color, which, I mean, it's hard to see because there's not much left, but that's not nearly as dark as a lot of the stuff I usually drink. It's a little bit lighter in color, a little bit less body to it. It's a little bit more subtle on the smokiness and all that kind of stuff. So the Japanese typically appreciate a lighter, less aggressive flavored whiskey. This Yamamoto, however, I think it's not your typical Japanese whiskey. It's definitely got a little bit more spice. They're very open on the packaging that it's in a Mizunara Japanese oak cask. So this is oaked for a little bit. Adds a little bit of smokiness to it, but the balance is phenomenal. I don't get a burn. I don't get a funky aftertaste. It's not super smoky like a single malt scotch or like a really heavily aged bourbon or whiskey. It's super, super clean. Just all the flavors you would want in a good, easy to drink whiskey. They're all subtle. They don't fight with each other. And then unlike your typical very light whiskey from Japan, this one's got a nice slight oakiness to it from the aging process. And this shit's phenomenal. That'll run you about a buck, I think $1.55 for this bottle, being the addition that is with the armor thing.
Damn.
And it will make your liquor shelf just look epic. Like we were talking about before the podcast, this is going to go up next to my my Suntory 17-year Hibiki that I got from the airport in Japan. It's going to go next to my Louis the 13th bottle that's empty. Like this is going to earn its place amongst my most impressive bottles after they're empty. It's good and it looks badass, but it's delicious. It is, I think, worth the money I spent on it.
Nice.
Yeah, for sure. So, and I'm actually glad, obviously, like I kind of showed off like my box here. Sorry, I was kind of updating a couple of things here for the podcast. I actually was gifted a bottle, which I'm
My
actually
balance is
too
not.
big, Nick.
Oh, the balance. Got the balance.
yeah.
I'm a ninja,
So-
bitch. I'm a samurai.
So here's a box.
I'm a ninja bitch.
Yeah.
I'm a samurai.
Here's the bottle
Oh my god.
Yeah,
and the inside box.
yeah. They come in
Yes.
very
I can't see.
nice
Yeah.
boxes.
They do.
It
They
fits,
do.
It fits in perfectly. I mean, they did a really, really nice job.
Yeah.
And half the time you have
So-
to ask because at our Total Wine locally, the big boy Total Wine that we have, they don't put these on the
Yes.
shelf. They do not
No.
fit on the shelf nicely. They don't play well with others. They keep these in the back, so you have to
Yes.
ask. However, they only had a couple. I got one, and Eric was gifted the other. So they're
Yes.
out locally.
And if you guys are wondering how I was actually gifted and I'm just now finding this out that it was like $150, $160 bottle of Japanese whiskey. Thank you. Huge
Yeah.
thank you to our friend Tina and Danny. So I don't really care for it, but obviously like for me, like I see it as like another day. But last week was my birthday, and we kind of met up together at, of course, it was fitting, number 3, and they showed up and they actually gifted me that bottle. Thank you guys. Actually, Carmelo, that he's not on the podcast as often right now. He will be for motorsports purposes, but we're not going to be doing a lot of drinking due to his career path, which is within good reason. We want to respect him. He did actually also give me a bottle of Keeper's Heart, so I'm actually looking forward to actually opening this guy up and actually enjoying this. And I have another bottle of whiskey showing up because thank you, Nick, for showing me shit that I don't need to buy, but I needed to buy anyways.
I'm gonna spend money on it. I'm taking you down with me.
Fuck, man, yeah. But anyways, yeah, like we've got a ton of alcohol to drink, and we probably don't have enough podcasts to actually drink at all. But hopefully,
Debatable.
I think
Debatable.
We don't have enough podcasts, but we can definitely try. And on that note, that's all the time that we have here for today. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. We appreciate every single one of our viewers, listeners, and subscribers. Yes, we appreciate every single one of you guys. Don't forget to savor your brews and hit the road responsibly. Definitely, you guys need to hit the road responsibly. I personally know of a couple of friends that have gotten in some legal trouble with drinking and driving. You don't want to be in that position. Yes, you don't want to do it. Cheers to booze and cars, and we'll catch you guys on the next upload, which will be this weekend, for some really, really fun shenanigans. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.